Well, I would say I'm excited about tomorrow, but I'm not sure that I'm really that excited about saying goodbye to this bunch of young women. It's a special night for us. It's always bittersweet, but you do like to take the time to appreciate the young ones that grow into women, and that's really what's basically happened with these four. We've watched them all grow up right in front of us, and to say the least, they're going to finish here with the opportunity to say that they left something with this program and that they've put it in better hands than when they got here.
With all the ambition you have, the players have, to elevate the program, do you sometimes just to have to stop and think about what you have accomplished, particularly this season?
Mm-hmm. I had not done that really in the flight home from Lubbock the other night. It just kind of dawned on me that we're having a pretty good year. And I think it was something, maybe the 25th win, maybe 25 sounds better than 24. I don't really know, but it did give me a chance to really sit back and say, this has been a pretty good year. And obviously these four have been a huge part of that, and this team has really been special. And as a coach, you know what that looks like. You know what a team looks like when they're on pace to have a good year, when their chemistry is good and they look like they're somewhat on a mission. Then if you've seen it before, it looks familiar.
What were some of those first conversations like with these seniors when you were coming in and they were coming in kind of at the same time?
Well, it was hectic with this group because it wasn't a pitch, because these four were signed by a previous staff. In fact, it was not all four of them. It was Brady was not supposed to be in this class. She's a fifth-year senior, and Imani and Empress were obviously signed by the previous class, so we had to kind of re-recruit them, not knowing them at all. And then Selena Rodrigo was a gift. A huge gift, because at the time that we were able to get her to come here from Wake Forest, who had had a coaching change, luckily I'd had a previous relationship with Selena when I was in Charlotte, and to be able to get her to come here without a point guard on the team, period, was a true gift. So they're a mixed mash of a group that somehow came together, and so there wasn't a lot of time for conversation about this is what you're coming here to do. They all landed here in different ways, but I think along the way they figured out what we were trying to get accomplished.
What was it like? I think it was Travis with you. What did you have to go through to re-recruit Imani?
Actually, it was the whole group of us. We all jumped on a plane just to try to, I don't want to say re-recruit, but make her family feel comfortable with the new coaching staff. It wasn't just about me, and honestly, it wasn't about the coaches at all with her situation. It was more, and I think we all understand Imani's journey, so hindsight, I totally get why her family wanted her to be in a place where she would be taken care of and a place that would help her grow. And so it was more about just making sure that they knew we were going to continue with what had been discussed with the previous staff.
Do these four also deserve some credit for the success you and your staff have had in recruiting these past few years? Because if the older girls aren't buying in, you wouldn't have the recruiting success, right?
Well, no question. I think Empress takes the credit for never having lost a recruit. She reminds me of that several times. But, yeah, I mean, I think that when you're recruiting, if the players aren't happy and the players aren't invested in your vision, then you're not going anywhere. And there's no question about that. And football's been a great reflection of that. I mean, we hear all the time about how Charlie's guys are doing the recruiting for him, and they are your best recruiters. They're either going to make you or break you. And the recruiting aspect for us has been so successful because we've had these players at a young age come here at camp. And camp is the selling point where they get the chance to really be around your players in a setting that's a little bit different. So, yeah, if they're not happy and they're not selling your vision, then they're not coming here.
Because you got here at the same time as these seniors, how have you seen them grow from one time they were freshmen to now?
We don't have enough time for that. How have I seen them grow? Just You just watch them turn into women. They're ready for the world, and that's what your goal is when they play for you, is that, and especially at Texas, you hope that they're ready to, go embark on whatever it is they choose to do. I think, some of them have chances to further their careers from a basketball standpoint. I think Brady's already got a job lined up and a ring on her finger, so they've really matured into not only great women but great leaders. They will all be successful in life. There's no question in my mind.
As you talk about it finally hitting you with this moment, what is your message going to be to them tomorrow, and also moving forward? There may be more opportunities, obviously, in a different environment, but still get to play here as well.
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is try to win tomorrow. We play a really good TCU team, so part of their journey and part of their ambition this year was to try to win a championship. I mean, they wanted to leave a legacy here, and so we need to win tomorrow to have that opportunity on Monday. So I think that's the first thing, is let's stay focused on TCU and stay focused on a really good basketball team that we're going to have to try to beat tomorrow. And then the second part is just enjoy the moments. Their families will be here, friends, people that have supported them throughout their careers. So I think the biggest thing is, enjoy taking the moment and make it something that they can remember the rest of their life.
Coach, how happy are you that this group gets to experience some of what your vision to get this program back is, and that they're able to experience some of it, to go from the uncertainties and the doubts of coaching change and bad seasons before this, to being a part of the program's 1,000th win, 25-2, top 5 team. How much does that mean to you to see this group be able to be a part of the realization of where you want to take this program?
Right. Well, it means a lot in so many different ways, but I've had a chance to take over programs a couple of times. So I think one thing that, as I've gone through this process as a coach, is that you begin to really appreciate players that stick around, because there's always that, drama about the new coaching staff, and there's always that period of time where players they didn't come here to play for you, and they don't necessarily fit into your system. All kinds of things happen with coaching changes. So I really learned to appreciate the ones that are willing to go through the process and stick around and stay committed. So that would be the biggest thing that I'm happy for them about, is that they stayed committed. And when I said that earlier about the fact that I didn't have any doubts that they would be successful, it's because they've stayed the process. And they have stayed in this with us the whole time. Even though there's been some really bad times and some really good ones, they've never wavered from their commitment. And so they're going to leave this place understanding what it takes to be successful, because they've gone through the steps and the processes that it takes. And people shortcut those. I mean, everybody wants a shortcut. And this particular group of young women were not able to take the shortcut. And we still don't have a shortcut. We have to win tomorrow to have a chance to play on Monday for something. And so we're still not getting to take shortcuts. So, and that's something that I'll remind them of today, is that we are still having to fight. Even though we have a great record and everything sounds good, we have to win tomorrow. And it's a good lesson for young people, that this doesn't just happen in life, and that you don't just show up and good things happen. You have to work for it. So I'm really proud. And I could go down the line with each one of them. Selena probably comes to mind the most with me, because I'm extremely hard on point guards, and to have her come in here with things the way they were and the uncertainty of our program, and just, get thrown to the wolves in every capacity, she's really kind of the reflection of the whole class, which is, no matter how dark it got sometimes for her, she just never quit. And now she's playing the best basketball of her career. She's starting point guard for a team that's having a terrific year, and she is the example of this class.
Just a couple more. Yeah, she didn't actually sign, and it was like, what, maybe June or
Yeah,
July,
yeah,
right?
it was.
So maybe just talk us through the process of identifying, what you knew that you needed and why her, and then, kind of getting her here and getting her involved.
Well, it's kind of a lengthy backtracking part of it, but she committed at Charlotte to me when I was at Charlotte. And then I left Charlotte and went to North Texas, and so she decommitted from Charlotte and ended up signing with Wake. And then the Wake coach left and went to North Texas. So it's been a weird little twist of fate for Selena. And then I ended up at Texas. So I knew of her. We had a relationship from the recruiting process, and the things that I knew about her, I knew that it was she would be what we would need here, someone that would just go to work every day. And I knew her personality wasn't necessarily ready, and even her experience levels. I knew she wasn't ready for this, but her work ethic was what I did know about. And I never questioned that Selena would come in here and attempt to do this. What I didn't know is really how tough she was. And I say that wholeheartedly just because of how hard I was on her. And there were times that I'm sure she thought she doesn't believe in me. She doesn't think I can do this. But, I think what players don't understand is I know what they're going up against every day in the competition. I know, you're just trying to prepare them for this level of competition. And I think through her process of all of this and through her experiences, she's ready.
Last one.
Coach, we know we're not going to get you to talk about Monday's game. Looking at the weekend, though, with Saturday, Monday, closing the regular season, chance to claim a share of a conference title. Calendar turns to March next week.
Mm-hmm.
Will you talk to your team at all about how crucial this weekend could be in terms of that seeding, where you guys fall on the line?
I think they understand. I don't think, again, I've always, and you can ask her when she gets up here, but Imani is our information system anyway. I'm sure she's read every possible projection that is out there. So I don't usually have to tell them a whole lot. They understand. I just don't want them to get ahead of themselves. There's a lot going on tomorrow night. There's a lot going on tomorrow, period. It's a big day. I had some of them ask me, could they go to the men's game for a little bit? We've got to shoot around. We got to try to get parked somewhere to go to shoot around. So it could be a distracting day for our team. So they just have to find a way to get in here and get locked in to each other and enjoy the day, enjoy the moment together tomorrow night, and try to beat TCU. And again, it's not going to be easy at all. They're playing really good basketball.